What's going on, y'all? Goofy Rexy here, your cheap to play mid-game player. So today we're going to be discussing the Orbgate fix. So yesterday they implemented the fix. They reverted back the accounts, for those who did get those 3,000 orbs and, whoever used those orbs too as well. Unfortunately, though, things did not go as smooth as they possibly could have gone or should have gone or we would have hoped to have gone. So we're going to discuss, exactly what happened in the botch, what happened exactly in the mess ups here, and then we're going to talk about what they probably or what might be coming, or at least what should be coming next, as we move on forward. So sit back, guys. Let's discuss and talk about it on the other side. Guys, so we're back. So we're going to discuss exactly what happened, where were the kind of mix-ups. I do have some information from my Discord too as well that kind of details exactly what did happen. But before we dive right into it, I do want to make mention I do stream on Twitch Mondays, Wednesdays, and Friday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So please come catch me there throughout the weeks. I also do stream on Friday mornings as well at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so you can catch me there. So if you do like this video or any of the other videos that I do have on the channel, please consider hitting the subscribe button too as well. It does support the channel, does really help to make sure that this does grow. So I would really appreciate it if you guys do that for me as well. And I do have my other links down below, link to my Twitter page as well, my Facebook page, and I also have a link to my Discord too. So you can always slide into my Discord and chat with me throughout the week and offline when I'm not streaming as well. So I do have the Twitter post here from Marble Strike Force, or kind of detailing out a little bit of what might have went wrong here. So today we implemented a correction of gear progress to players that were mistakenly granted several thousand orange gear orbs. We know that already. The correction did remove the gear pieces from the aforementioned orbs. And then continue down here. However, some of those players had gear removed from other slots that were unintentional. The dev team is currently investigating the issue and we'll keep you updated. So obviously this is frustrating, right? We kind of knew that this was going to be a big task for them to implement in the first place. And we knew that there were going to be some mix up. And honestly, this is actually exactly what I thought was going to happen. I thought that not only were they going to remove the gear that was used from those catalyst ores, but I also thought it was going to be rather difficult because they were going to also need to remove the gear from the other areas too as well. So if someone had used their mini uniques, then they would have removed the mini uniques. So things like that is what I anticipated happening. And I actually have a statement here from someone that was in my Discord that mentioned exactly what happened. If you guys can't read it, I'll read it to you. So he said, yeah, they botched the rollbacks as expected. I got the orange gear retracted, which was expected, right? What I wasn't expecting was that they would also retract the gear tier upgrades I did, even if orange gear wasn't used. They did it to my gear 11 upgrades, which is purple gear, not even the orange gear, and also his gear 8 upgrades too as well, which is the blue gear. Obviously, they also revoked any mini uniques that were also purchased. So obviously, not only did they remove the orange stuff that was used, but they're also here removed, other things that weren't even a part of that process, which I don't necessarily know how that mistake was made. It's kind of frustrating, to be honest with you, that they did make such a what I would say is it's an unrelated thing. So how exactly do you then go and take away the purple gear and then also take away, the gear tier 8 upgrades? And what about those mini uniques that he purchased? I mean, why would you take those mini uniques away? And I don't know from this this person here whether or not they also gave him back his gold, or if the gold was also still missing. I don't know what other ways that this person was impacted, but I would assume that something like that might have happened too as well, which is also uber frustrating if you're a player in this game. Now the other portion of this that I wanted to bring up, which I think is the reason why this is probably not done. Number one, they're going to have to fix this issue that they just created again. But then also another thing that was brought up yesterday was, what about those people who were or those players who were able to finish things like Dark Dimension 3? You know, that from my understanding, they reverted back the gear, they reverted back all that, but more than they were supposed to, but they have not yet to revert back the progress for people who are able to complete Dark Dimension 3 or to get through a few nodes in Dark Dimension 3. Now, I don't, obviously, I'm not an advocate for removing stuff from players or whatever the case is, but I mean, it's kind of unfair. That's an unfair advantage, right, for someone to be able to complete Dark Dimension 3 with things that they weren't supposed to receive in the first place. So that's my question, is what exactly are they going to do now to fix that other issue? Which is why I think that there has to be some sort of a phase 2 coming, and there definitely should be some sort of a phase 2 coming as far as I'm concerned. So I'm hoping that they do rectify this. I'm hoping that they do this quicker. My frustration, like I said, with the whole thing was that, number one, that it happened. It was a simple typo, you know, in regards to 3,000 orange fragments, orange catalyst fragments, or 3,000 right orbs. It's like mistakes that they're constantly making that ultimately that they could easily fix, and I don't really understand why it's been so difficult for them to fix these things. And now they've even done even worse by reverting back, you know, the things that they weren't even supposed to revert back in the first place, like purple gear, like blue gear, like items purchased. I don't understand exactly why that was the case. Why they couldn't just unclick a button, you know, for those upgrades and then take away those catalyst pieces back, as opposed to taking away everything that that player had used and worked on. So listen, this is just my quick kind of update, just in case somebody ever needed any sort of clarity in regards to exactly what happened. I know that sometimes when they come out with posts, it can be a little bit unclear, but what they actually did was that they took away the gear tier upgrades that had nothing to do with those catalysts, and they also still haven't reverted back the progress for people who may have completed Dark Dimension 3 with those extra items that have progressed in Dark Dimension 3 with those items. They still haven't removed that progress yet. So listen, let's see what happens. I guarantee you that they're gonna have to do this or implement this sometime next week. Now, I do appreciate the sort of, you know, rewards that they gave. I got 6,000 raid credits. I got a few other items too as well that I'm pretty excited about. But at the same time, you know, you still hurt the player base and you still hurt this community, and you're still making mistakes and mess ups that ultimately could be avoided. But listen, guys, let me know what your thoughts are. What do you think about it? What do you think that they should do next? Do you think that they should revert back the progress for Dark Dimension 3 for players who did get these extra pieces? Let me know, guys. Thank you again so much. Appreciate y'all. Have a good one. And as I always say, be blessed.